here with my dear friend and crazy man, Eric Pearson. Had a dose of Mr. Eric. Then you're about to have a treat. Eric, you started with Chuck Clark and that crowd, and then you got and you bunched in the Daito Ryu world in Japan, and coming back over to, I don't know what you're going to do today. What are you going to do today?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess I better think about that for a second. If everyone wants to chill out a little bit and stretch out, I'll spend probably about 5 minutes yapping because I know that you're here to bask in my wisdom. Anyways, my name is Eric Pearson. I know most of you. I haven't seen you for a bunch of years, and I don't think I've met you before. So I'm from Austin, Texas. I study, of course, Tomiki Aikido. Daito Ryu, I like judo, I'm not very good at it. I do iaido, I'm terrible at it. I dig sistema stuff, and I love knives. Just love tanto jitsu in all the forms that I can. I lived in Japan from 2000 to 2003, and I studied over there. It's Matsuda-ha Daito Ryu, essentially, is what we're calling it. There's only 2 instructors of it outside of Japan that I know. Both of them are here in this room. Actually, one of them is probably changing out right now. Andrew is also an instructor in it. Oh, yeah, it's right. If you were a snake, you would have bit me. So he's my senpai. He's going to help me out today. We have very, very different feelings, impressions. We took totally different things out of our time studying Daito Ryu. I'm obsessed with softness and lightness, and I think he is too. He just feels like a statue, like a bulldozer to me. I go for painless stuff. You don't care about that so much. So we're kind of flip sides of these coins, but you'll see expressions of it in a lot of the Daito Ryu through various systems. One of the things, it's after lunch. Feel free to play mellow. I prefer it if y'all don't hurt each other, be nice to each other. Stuff like that. I'm also a big believer, I'm a professional educator, and I'm a believer in what's a concept called the zone of proximal learning. It means if I'm teaching you something, you have an ability, and this is your ability line right here. If we work together, I can raise your ability line slightly higher than what you're actually capable of, and this would be the zone of proximal learning for your fancy educational. So if you're a uke, help make sure that you're finding the place to help the guy out, because a lot of this is going to be very alien to you, especially for Tomiki folks by and large, because most people in here are from the Tomiki lineage. We have a few offshoots. But can I use you, speaking of Tomiki folks here? So a lot of the balance breaking strategy, in my humble opinion, from Tomiki Aikido, I don't care what kind of, is constant walking with my feet, right? So you just go ahead here. I'm moving, and this is very Aikido-like balance breaking patterns. Moving. I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. But what we're going to be doing with Daito Ryu, it's just different. By and large, I'm not going to be moving my feet. I'm going to take care of everything right here and right now. And rather than going at a horizontal balance break and moving, a lot of what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an upwards motion in my partner, okay? And that's what we're going to discuss today, is up. Rather than the Happo no Kazushi that we learn in judo, which is here and back and forwards, we're going to concentrate on the up and the down today. And we're going to do it with a lot of different exercises. There's a classic form of it that I think is hard as hell. It's one of the hardest things I think in Daito Ryu. So we're going to do that last, and we're going to take baby steps and start working towards developing some of the smaller talents or smaller skills in order to get to it. First thing that I wanted to show is from our lineage of Daito Ryu. It's a 5th technique in our seated kata. It's called aikijujitsu. Terrible name. I think all the techniques should be called aikijujitsu in a way. But go ahead here. We're going to start in seiza across from each other, and he's going to kind of grab and press both wrists. Yeah. All right. First thing, make sure you're relaxed. It's after lunch. We can do this slowly, right? Hands are relaxed. I'm going to point towards his throat, and we're going to establish musubi, or connection. right here. So now our systems are locked to each other. I have control of the center line. One hand goes up, one hand goes down. This is kind of the simplified form. And if, John, you need to come over and feel this, you can feel free.
You've done it too.
Okay, cool. Elbow goes back, elbow goes forward. Real simplified version, that's all we're going to do. Real simple, real slow. Here, there. One more time, super slowly. Breathe out, elbows come back, draw a line to the throat. Go slightly forward until you feel connection. One palm up, one palm down. Elbow back, empty out. Elbow forward. And there's really, I mean, if it's done in the correct methodology, you can feel nothing. And I'll have Andrew correct my technique next. All right, give it a try. Walk around. Cool. Done this the whole hour and a half and I'd be happy. There's so much into this and it really is, I think, a great intro lesson on developing the Aiki of Daito Ryu. Let me here. So, boom, here. Same thing, it's just beginning to blend together a little more. Right? Okay, so here, let's go back down for a second because I want to, I said we're going to talk about up and down here. And let's talk about where the up is there. Oh, well, that was an up. Yeah, I caused that. So here. And also, as I turn here, you'll notice his shoulder rises. And this is really kind of one of the defining things of the Aiki shape. We can create upwards motion by touching him anywhere. However, if you want to get into the classic form, the shoulders rise. The shoulders rise up. Because the shoulders aren't really connected except by soft stuff. It doesn't connect bone into bone anywhere. So we're trying to raise that shoulder up with a lot of our age motions, right? So if here, I have the shoulder raised up, and then I can drop them down somewhere else. The only angle that the shoulder really seats, or the arm seats into the shoulder, is about right there. Feel how that goes into your structure? But right there, it's floating, and I can create problems for you like that. Cool? All right, so let's see if we can create a little bit more of, let's do this one-handed now. All right, so within this age form, right, that we were just working on, aiki age, or aiki nage form, we have drawing the elbow back, we have turning the wrist, and we have drawing the elbow in a circle that way to you, right? And then we're getting that nice raise up there. And this is gonna be, I want you to work this both hands, because eventually we're gonna do this with both hands simultaneously. So work it one, cool, work it the other. And if essentially what I'm doing is I'm doing ikkyo to him, or ippondori, or whatever, oshitayoshi, except I'm doing it through this connection right there, this connection right here. So arm back, it straightens out his arm. Turn the wrist, elbow attacks his ear, and get that shoulder raise. Now don't hold this for too long, and don't applaud yourself for winning here, because it's just the beginning. But here, all right, cool. Here, all right, getting them raised up. Here, all right, cool. Have anything to add to this? All right, cool. All right, give it a try. Now, as you're doing your aikijujitsu, and I'm coming in, and he's doing an aikijujitsu on me, boom, I'm nailed up. And a lot of people feel, it feels like a really powerful position, and people are just gonna wanna crush through this and see what happens. So he'll maybe attack me with the elbow and crush through it, and that's not really what we're gonna be doing here. So I kind of equate this, the shoulder, as tossing a ball up, right? And this is what we're doing. We're creating aiki, age, up, up. And for a moment here, while it's up, it's floating and it's weightless. Not before or not after, but if we can hit it at that moment and move the ball while it's weightless somewhere else, the natural sage, or the natural fall, is going to be pretty effortless. So as I come in and grab him, I'm up, and at that exact moment, he changes where my shoulder is, and down, and now we'll do it at full speed so you can see up and down how it comes in. That was dramatic. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's what we're here for. That's what, I mean, that's all it is. And basically most of that is just my own fat butt falling to the floor. I'm up and floating. I have no connection to the floor anymore. And now he's rearranging my system so I can't support myself and letting it go, right? And so we can't get in the habit of holding age up. Yeah, you do that while you're learning it. But the second that you hit up, let's try pointing to a place on the floor. So up, down, touch the ceiling, touch the floor. See if that works for you, all right? And we'll go from there. Thank you. Kind of like scratch and sniff my first Daito Ryu ABCs or whatever. I wanted to show, this is probably the simplest form of age sage that I've found. Age means up. Sage means down. Do I got anybody that want to? Jason, let me use you for a second here. Typically, we don't do aggressive or offensive knife stuff in our Aikido system. Ota Sensei basically taught us that our system of Daito Ryu is if you're going for your weapon and somebody grabs your hand and you're freeing your weapon and dispatching of them. So I just wanted to show here that if an attack comes in any way, I'm going to come up under here and I'm going to attack him with the elbow and release him from the floor. Now my finger is going to point him where I want him to go. And this is the simplest form that I found to show people up and down in a very direct sort of way. So up, down, right? However, that's kind of a mean version. So I have a nicer version because Nick sometimes gets hesitant with us doing knives. So I have a fan version, right? All right, so this is just a model for connection. Here, up and down. You know what, I have an even nicer version because we are nice Aiki folks in here, right? And I'm going to do this with my empty hand here and here. Up, point the finger over, down, okay? So I didn't get as much laughs as I was hoping for that, but screw y'all. Screw So, connect with the elbow into that shoulder. Don't worry about your hand so much. As he's up, your fingertip is going to tell him where to go behind. It's like a waterfall going over. I've got knives over here and fans and rainbows, depending on what level of meanness you want to play at, or you have your hands. So go ahead and give this a try. Coming up, really get your elbow in there as your driver, and then let the energy and direction be directed by your fingertips going over the shoulder. Do you have anything to add into this?
Yeah, I mean, I do. This is a very basic technique, and like all Japanese art, the more basic it is, the more complex it is. Because the most important techniques are always put at the beginning of the system. If you know anything about Koryu arts, that's what it's like. So when you're doing this, remember that you're attacking with the whole body. So here, don't forget this. He's grabbing you here. You're doing this. Don't forget your left side, because if you tend to just attack with one side, it will not work. Attack with the whole body, attack with the center.
Totally guilty of one-sided stuff.
Yeah, and I do it too. Yeah, you have to really be cognizant of the fact that you are attacking with the whole body, the center of your opponent, just like you were cutting him with a sword. And when you start to forget that in Daito Ryu, your technique will not work. That's it.
Sweet. Give it a try. Thank you. Toss your knives over in the pile here real quick. Appreciate it if they're already, yeah. So there's a good Bob Ray saying. I know a lot of you know Bob Ray. Bob Ray is a great judo guy. I can't touch him. He's amazing. And the last time he came and did a seminar at our place, he said that you don't throw people down. You throw people up and set them down somewhere else, right? And I think that's pretty right on for this sort of idea of aikiage, aikisage. Even though he's a judo guy, judo people actually seem to know something about throwing people, right? Speaking of which, let's see, anybody want to try? Let's see, Nancy, I'll use you, huh? What? All right. So from a choke, this is a technique called Koshi Guruma, and it's not a big throw, or it can be a big throw, but we're not going to do it as a big throw. It's from the ikkyo series of Daito Ryu. If you come in for a choke here, it's going to be one of those cross chokes things. Yeah, all right. How do we create age here? And basically, just connect to the elbow and point upwards is what I like to do in order to create this. So the choke comes in, connect to, should be the top elbow here, point upwards, and just rest your hand on this bottom one, and we'll see the kind of balance break just age creates within her at that moment of contact. Right, so here, grab, here. And now we can turn and bring her, well, and create different effects in her, probably because of her size difference or whatever. But let's play around with this age first, and then we can work on the technique from there. Boom. Right there. That's basically all there is to it. I'd probably simplify it and just drop her down with a little turn of my hips rather than doing a big hip throw or something like that. But upwards. This one is critical. I think a lot of people like to push this one down. But Hussey Sensei used to teach us that just bring everything into your center line, and then you could sword strike it down. And that's always worked for me pretty well. All right, so upwards, just rest this one as it goes down, because look what happens to her as she goes to the choke, and I do age here, this elbow drops, and so I don't need to push it down. I can just manipulate her into a line and then relax down, okay? Cool, give it a try. Think about upwards motions. Fingertips lead line of direction, so lead it upwards.
His face. So it really has to be like where, go ahead and choke me. Good, right? So he's in there. So what I want to do is to actually give it to him and then posture up. See, so when I posture, look at how Eric's balance now has changed. It's gone up, right? From here, now it's very simple to either strike or to simply move this way. Now we are very connected. Eric is completely dependent on my structure. Now I can do, okay, that. Chokes. Okay, so again, want to get deep, okay? See, I'm giving it to him, and I posture up, grab. So this is the part where Eric says, you know, Andrew's not so soft. If I grab you, I want to grab you so that you know something's got a hold of you. Okay, so let's try that where your Tori is grabbing deep, like he's really choking you. You actually kind of want to give him a little bit of neck, then posture. So the posture is chest out, buttocks tucked in. Boom. This will make him go up. Okay, same technique, just a slightly different entry. Please.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Success with this one? Yeah, some success. I mean, except for Patrick. Anybody else? Yeah, comments, questions? I'm going to keep going on and just giving you various examples of creating the rise and then the fall within folks. Let's see. I've been wanting to, sorry, I'm using you a lot, but you came all the way from Maine. So, all right, we got a mirror hand grab here. And I want to create the shoulder rise, but I don't want to go through his bones necessarily. I like to go around his bones. So I'm going to take my elbow, control his elbow and his shoulder right up. So here, and now I smooth my hand around and rest it right on top here. Bring it out and then drop him down. Thanks for being kind to me there because I missed it. But here, drop him down. Go super slow again. Your palm up. Get the nice age. Make them asymmetric. Smooth my hand over. Oh, I was doing a one-handed technique again. Two-handed technique. Relax them down into the hole. Andrew, you want to show this one? I know you got a pretty good one, too. Couple. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
He deserves it.
Yeah. Okay, so you see how I hang on to him by being soft in the entry, and now I have his posture even when he's on the ground. His spine is locked right here. If you can see it kind of bending as I push down on him. So it's really important that this not be a muscular throw. You come in soft, come here, down. And you can see I now have control of him even while he's on the ground. Okay? I know my hand over here is relaxed, but this hip is very important. You really have to shoot the left hip in there. If you do it with only one hip, he'll just step with you laterally. Okay?
Thank you. Dojo. I got a couple more things that I really wanted to get to. Since this is a Tomiki Aikido dojo, I wanted to show something. We have a walking kata. Not everyone's familiar with it. It doesn't really matter. But there's one motion that's commonly referred to as pet the dragon, right? And I've seen lots of different explanations of it, but I like the Daito Ryu explanation the best. So when a grab comes, if I do this pet the dragon motion, we're getting that same rise that we were earlier, right? If he goes to pummel me, if I do the pet the dragon motion, I'm getting the same motion, the same reaction. I'm sorry, I should be using John. Sorry, John. Right. So from a grab here,
This one?
yeah. If we're doing pet the dragon, we're getting the shoulder rise. If you're grabbing me here, and I do pet the dragon, I'm getting that same shoulder rise, aikijujitsu, right? Same with motions such as grab here. If you do your teigatana push, you're going to get that shoulder rise. Or if he's about to pummel me, if I do a sword strike upwards, I'm also getting aikijujitsu. And then I can turn, sword strike down, and get a sage motion, right? And so if you get it really nice, I mean up, oh, I didn't even let him connect. Edit that one out.
Bad okay.
So,
Look, a bird.
Yeah. So up, rotate, down, right? So sword strikes, I mean that's supposedly what this is all based on. All right, cool. So give those a quick try, and then we'll spend, yeah, do it quick, go. And we're gonna introduce you to the next 20 years of your practice, I guess. At least it has been mine. Okay, let's see. John Kirby, I haven't played with you yet. All right. And this is actually in the Koru Daisan for you Tomiki guys, but we've been doing it wrong for a long time. All right, so a grab comes in. I'm going to lead it up, and I'm going to invite him in, take a big drink, and point towards the ceiling, right? Notice how his shoulders rise. He goes on his toes. Boom. Turn and drop. That's what I do. My aikijujitsu still sucks. I'm working on it. Here. Push forward, take a drink, drop them down. We're going to go over this in far more detail tomorrow, but we just decided we'd give you this to frustrate you and think that it's impossible. Point your fingers up, attack with your elbows, rotate them slightly, and relax. Point them to where you want them to go. You, go there. All right? That's the way I've been doing it. Like I said, it sucks. We'll work on it tomorrow. We'll work on it together. One last time. Here. Cool? All right, give it a try. It's a very liney circle. Any comments, suggestions, testimonials about anything? No, nothing? You got anything, Andrew?
No, sir. Good class.
So,
Like you're progressing.
yeah. You know, I've taught some stuff here before, and Jack Beeler, who's up next, once told me, is like, yeah, I've been through 2 weekends of your Daito Ryu workshops now, and I haven't learned any of it, except I do like to use the elbows now. And so that's kind of where I'm at as far as showing other art forms some of the Daito Ryu principles. Let's just pick on one principle and work it and see if it's useful for you in the art that you practice. You know, I'm not trying to create a Daito Ryu organization. I don't want to rep. It's being filmed. I just, you know, I want to come up and share some stuff with you and hope you guys get better at it. I'm not claiming to be any good at this stuff, but I'm obsessed with it, and there's not very many people out there that are any good at it, and so hopefully together we can crack some of these codes. All right? Thank you very much. Domo arigato gozaimashita. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.